Okay, so we got here our front rack for the GTV. I'm actually pretty excited about this, even though unfortunately we're gonna have to drill some holes into our horn cover. I'm not really happy about that, but just the fact that I'm gonna have my front rack in matte black, I just forget about the holes. So this is gonna look really awesome. This is something pretty useful, and I'm actually pretty excited because I'm gonna use this rack mostly to mount my LEDs, which is gonna be pretty cool to have. So I'm gonna proceed and open this up. Come with all the hardware included for the installation, and you will also need a template to drill your holes right in the spot where it needs to be. You can find this template at thescooteraboutt.com. It's available in the website. Download it for free. We have that available. So fortunately, you can buy this if you just want to go back. It looks really bad when you remove the front rack. If you want to remove it at any time, you're gonna have some big holes, 3 holes here in your horn covers. There are other versions of the rack, the newer version that you don't actually need to drill the hole. But in this version of this Vespa, which is the old version, this is the 2008 from GTV, you're gonna have to drill some holes. So we got the template here, and you can see we can just like line everything up, and we can mark our holes so we can drill it right in the spot where they need to be. Let's proceed and show you all the hardware that comes with it. Come with a lot of hardware. It's a process, this installation, all the rubber pieces and everything. So let's proceed and give you a closer look on what we have here. Okay, so with the rack, you're gonna get all this hardware for the installation. We got our brackets that are gonna be placed in the inside with the scooter, so we can hold everything really nice and rough. These are the 3 spacers that are gonna be screwed into these brackets, and we got the screws, the washer, the rubber pieces that are gonna hold this part in place, and all the rubber pieces to cover the bigger holes. So this is everything that you should get in the box with it, along with the front rack and the template that you can download at thescooteraboutt.com. We have this available in the website, so you can just click in the link down below for your easy installation. So let's get started. So I'm gonna start by cutting off this piece so we can, line up everything more nicely. So I'm gonna start by doing that. And that's it, we have cut our pieces off, and it will be now more easily to line everything up. As you can see, I'll probably gonna open up these a little bit so we can line up the little angle there, but as you can see, everything line up pretty nice. These are the 2 holes that are gonna be drilling into the metal inside the horn cover, so we're gonna put this in aside for now, and we're gonna get into this. So as you can see, I have cut off that part in the inside because we're gonna be drilling the holes from the inside of the cover. So as you can see, that fits just right in there, perfectly fit. This is why I love using this template. I mean, you gotta use it. Use any other way to be accurate with this. Line up everything nicely. And as you can see, we got now exactly where we have to drill our holes. Make sure everything is perfectly lined up, because once you drill those holes, that's very important that you line up that little corner right there. And there we have it. And we can now proceed and drill our holes. Of course, you want to start with a smaller drill bit, so you want to start with like half of the size that you're going to be drilling off. This is how it should look at the end. You can see everything is perfectly lined up. We can now proceed and drill our 3 holes. Okay, so we can now proceed and drill the holes. I recommend putting something, to protect your bodywork, maybe like a towel, something like that you can just drill comfortably. I don't have a bench, just doing it here in the floor. But I'll recommend you getting new drill bit. You don't want to chip your paint or anything, so you want to have really sharp drill bits so it goes like now. So we're gonna start probably with a 3/16. We're just gonna drill something very small so we can see if everything lines up perfectly. I'm gonna proceed and start drilling that hole. Make sure the little thing is right in the middle. And we can now remove our template because we don't need it anymore. It did the job correctly. Got our hole perfectly lined up. And we can just remove it carefully just in case we need it in the future. So, okay, now I have cut off the little square in the middle, which is this one. So you want to line up that little hole there with these 2 rounded parts. And you want to line it up exactly in the middle. And we're going to put some tape on it to hold it in place. So something you want to do first, so with something like this, a nail or like screw or something, you want to start, put that right in the middle. Pilot hole where you're gonna drill, so the drill doesn't go, you know, anywhere. Of course, it's gonna start with a smaller drill bit, and you want to be careful you don't go too far because you got some cables here in the back, so you just want to be careful with it. Actually pretty cool because we're using this to catch all the debris. So now we got a bigger size here, so let's proceed on that carefully. And that's it. So we're pretty much ready to slide this piece in. So let's proceed and remove this carefully with all those metal particles. Use the tape to catch everything there. So something you want to be careful, maybe you can use a magnet to slide this piece in. Don't fall inside the scooter and you don't have to disassemble the whole thing. So you want to use some magnets just in case. And we got 2 nuts that we got at the hardware store and this little piece that go like this, I believe. Before you start, you want to make sure those holes can fit there perfectly. Maybe you can, let me try twisting this over so you have some more space here. You can see my fingers over there. So you want to grab that piece. Don't drop it, please. Don't drop it, please. There we go. You want to hold it, put a knot there temporarily so it doesn't go. Okay, so you want to have this one like that. Slide that in, put the knot, make sure we don't drop that inside the scooter, please. And we can proceed and now tie that pretty well. Got our 10mm here. Next, you're gonna swap this piece in here, in these 2 holes right here. We already got the knot in there. Push all those cables underneath, and then we're gonna swap that in there. Then you want to have a 4mm Allen key, this piece, and the 2 smaller Allen key screws. Now we can proceed and slide this piece. I have the cable, my negative from my fog light. I had to hook it in there before, so I just want to hook it in there again. Make sure you don't drop anything into your scooter because then it's gonna be a pain in the butt. So you want to have everything perfectly, you know, line up. Nice and tight. Okay, now we can proceed and slide our home cover to see if everything lined up perfectly. And it's like we nailed it. There we go. This one seems to be a little off, I think. Perfect. Slide that down. Perfect. Template workout. So once you see that all the holes line up perfectly, we can now proceed and finish drilling those holes to a bigger size. Let's proceed and do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna proceed and finish drilling the hole with the big drill bit. Kind of afraid with this because I don't want to chip the paint and make it look worse. So I'm gonna grab it like this and go very gently, very slow. Very little force. There we go. Oh, battery die. There we go. Nice. Now let's proceed with this one. The good thing is that the rubber pieces are gonna cover that, so battery is dead. And we're pretty much ready to try those screws out, so we can proceed and slide that piece back on and install our rack. Okay, now once we have mounted everything correctly, we can proceed and mount our home cover. Don't forget to plug your light like that there. See with that all the holes line up, not as much as the one in the bottom. Let me just fix that one in a couple of tabs. We can see all the holes are nicely lined up. The one in the bottom is still missing a couple of tabs. I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. And boom, perfectly lined up. We can proceed and install our screw here. And look at those ugly holes. You'll never want to remove this rack. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to have these screws ready with the rubber pieces, those little rubber things. You just slide those in like that all the way to the top, and we can proceed and mount those screws there. Hang tight. And with a 13mm we can come here and tie those down. Nothing in there, nothing too crazy. And we can just move those rubber pieces all the way to the back. Can proceed and put our badge You can find those beautiful badges at thescooterbot.com. And then we're ready to swap our rack. If you want to have these screws in hand, it comes with these little washers, or like kind of special washers. As you can see, this one have like a shape, so you want to set it like this. You want to put that little star there and put them just like that. These two are the ones in the top. Before you proceed to swap your rack in, you want to put the rubber pieces here in this metal at the end of the rack. You want to swap these rubber pieces. Put those nice and tight. I want to tie those just yet. Then we got our last screw. You can put that washer, it's the longest one. You can bring this down so you can see a little better. Line it up with the hole and start threading that in. Hold that in place. Boom! We got our nice rack ready for carrying stuff. Looks nice. I'm gonna put my LEDs down here, and that's pretty much it. You don't see the holes or anything, so this is mostly for a permanent long-term use, because if you're gonna remove it, you may want to get a new hole cover or do something about those big holes, you know. I love the way it looks with the rack. Vespa looks just beautiful. We got more stuff that we can carry here. Make sure you don't exceed the weight. I think it's between 6 kilograms, between 6 and 8 kilograms. So you don't want to make sure that you don't exceed that weight. It's made for just that. So if you like this video, make sure you click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. See you in the next one. I'm Corey. If you want to get yours, you can just visit scooterbot.com and you can find plenty of stuff for your Vespa and make it look more unique. Make sure you check it out.